Carlaw Park, your legends remain through blood, through sweat, through triumph, through pain. We salute you forever, fortress of flame. The spirit lives on in the greatest game.
Started to get excited because it was home, you know.
Yeah.
In those days, it was home to rugby league, and so many good memories of the.
Would it be correct in me in saying that the Fox Memorial was the Mad Butcher Fox Memorial for a number of years? Is that correct?
I can't remember, to be honest. Gordon.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
I think you had the Roop Rooster too for a bit with the Teagle Chicken franchise.
Yeah. Good memories.
Yeah.
You know, yes.
Tell us about your Kiwis experience, Sir Peter.
Oh, I got a big note. I was the Kiwi manager. We beat Australia 24-0 in the UK.
Beautiful.
No one rated us. No one rated.
Yeah.
I actually, the next day, got on the phone ringing people, mate, did you get the score? What do you know about the game, you idiot? Because in all sincerity, we weren't rated.
Yeah.
We weren't rated.
No.
To beat them not only by 24-0, but convincingly, you know, was a big achievement. Full marks to the coach, Brian McClellan. Great coach.
Yep.
Who stood out on that tour? Who stood out in that game, Pete?
Stacey Jones. I can't remember.
Yeah.
My memory's not so good now.
No, but I mean, you pulled a great name.
I'll go with Stacey Jones as well, because he flew back to England because he was at the birth of his son, William, and he came back to England and then fronted and played right the day before. Yeah, I remember that.
A big achievement, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just, you know, it's all about teamwork.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not only the players we're talking about the managers and that.
Yeah.
If you get them all connected, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Daniel Anderson. You had a special bond with Daniel Anderson.
Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah. And of course, he's suffered a tragic bloody accident, and we wish him well. But you worked well with him. You worked well with everybody, Peter.
I've been in touch with him a couple of times.
Yes. Yeah. And what about other players that you work with? I know you've been close with Ruben Wiki.
Yeah.
You know, and as well as Stacey Jones, of course. You know, Ruben Wiki, but those other players that you have become so close with now.
So many, Gordon. It's hard to pick one or two.
Yeah.
You know, because I was unbelievable excited that I was involved officially, you know.
Yeah.
Because I've never played rugby league, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I still know nothing about the game.
Yes, you do.
You do. No, I don't really. And to go on to manage the team, and that was just unbelievable.
Well, you've done yourself proud, your family proud, and I want to mention Lady Janice too, because you've had the support of Lady Janice right throughout your whole, not just through your butcher's career, but with the rugby league as well, and your daughters, you know, that have been wonderful support.
When I got picked to manage the Kiwis and I going to England, I said to Janice, "I'll give it away." She said, "No, you go. You enjoy it." Thank you, Janice.
Thank you, Lady Janice. Yeah. Well, any finishing words from you, Pete? You know, anything that stands out for you apart from the 24-0 against Australia? Anything else from you that you want to
Rugby
mention?
league has just been a wonderful journey for me.
Yep.
I've met beautiful people around the world in rugby league.
Yeah. And
it's just unbelievable. And every now and again, I might get someone from France call them to see me. You know, and it's just a journey, and the people are good. You know, I've never met any. Well, I can't say that on the radio, but
you can say whatever you want here, Pete.
I've never met any arseholes.
Yeah.
They've been good people, mate. You know, and it's like a big family, really.
Yeah,
it's a bit different now because it's a lot more commercial and that.
Yeah,
but,
true that.
Yeah, but no, you know.
Oh, look, for me, I just want to say something, Gordy. You know, I loved you, Peter, for a long, long time. I met you, I think I was 15 or 16 for the very first time, and I was with Rev O'Neill. So there's an old name. Rev, you're out there somewhere. And as a Mangere East Hawk, Rev come and played with me the following year at Point Chevalier Pirates. And I met you then, and I've loved you since, mate. And you've been a magic man for the game. Magic.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, can I share my memory of
Yeah,
when
go on then. That's what this is all about.
So I was working at Ngātapuai College. So we're talking early 80s here, maybe late 70s.
Oh, back when this music was playing.
Yeah, early 80s. And the French team were coming in New Zealand to play New Zealand, and they trained at Walter Massey Park, and I came up and you were there. And that was the first time I met you, and we became friends from right from the get-go, mate.
Yep.
And you've been so instrumental in my life. You've been a mentor of mine. You've given me a kick up the arse when I've needed it. So on behalf of all rugby league, all people in New Zealand, not just rugby league, all people in New Zealand, thank you everything that you've done, Sir Peter.
No, Gordon, I got to thank rugby league for what it's done for me. It's given me confidence. It's given me happiness, and I've met so many lovely people, and it's just humbling, to be fair, very humbling.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sir Peter. You can go back and have another couple of line reads now.
Yes.
With join the rest of the legends in this room.
I don't drink, Gordon.
That's why I said it, Sir Peter.
Yes.
I'm taking the piss.
Yeah. Well, that's unacceptable behaviour when you're dealing.
See, he hasn't changed, has he?
Red card.
He hasn't changed.
Yeah, no.
Thank you, Sir Peter.
Love you, Pete.
Thank you.
Sadie, I'm going.
Kiwis Reunion, Sir Peter Leitch. So guess what? We're gonna follow that up with another Sir, and this gentleman is absolutely synonymous with the game of rugby league in New Zealand. He has done so much, continues to do so much for the game, for our great game. Please welcome Sir Graham Lowe. Lowe, thank you for coming on, my friend. Especially another special day, Kiwi Reunion 2025.
It is, Gordy. It's a great day to be here, but thank you for inviting me on this. It's fantastic. Good to see you. It's
always a pleasure.
You can't. How I feel when I walk in here, it's just humble.
I heard your words before, which brought a tear to my eye. To be fair, when you refer to all these gentlemen and when you hear the people that have passed in the last year, that's something that we got to be very, very wary of. And there's some absolute legends of this game in here. What got you into rugby league?
My dad was a rugby league man. He played for Glen Ora.
Yes, yeah.
Of no great distinction, but he lived in Glen Eden, played for Glen Ora. Yeah. And we were 5 years old, and when I started playing for Wesley in Mount Roskill. And so that was in 1952, I think. And so I started there, had three younger brothers. Mum and dad had 4 boys in 5 years. So we all ended up, we were like a block. They all came and, played together. So it was good. We played at Wesley to start. Then they combined with Mount Roskill.
Yep.
And so we played for Mount Roskill and then I think my dad had a run-in with somebody there and and we shifted to Hendon Park.
Hendon Park. Yeah.
Right. Was that Mount Roskill Red Devils? Was that the Red Devils then?
No, they weren't called the Red Devils. They just called Mount Roskill.
Mount Roskill. Okay.
It was good. Then I went and played for Male Stewart. They were at Hendon Park.
Yes. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, our coach, as it turned out, a year or so later, was Bluey's father-in-law.
Oh,
wow!
Yeah, Brian Croson was a famous name from Point Chev Rugby League in the I think in the early 50s.
Right, okay.
And he was a goal-kicking fullback, Brian Croson.
Yeah.
And so it's just amazing how that rugby league connection. Is just strung through everywhere. Yeah.
So tell me, when did you realise? Because you played, and when did you realise? I might be a better coach than I'm a player.
I never ever thought for 1 minute at any time I'd be a coach.
Yeah.
But I was.
Was Glenn McManus instrumental in some of that?
Glenn came and saw me about coaching.
He did. Okay.
But I was just a club player. I just enjoyed playing, and I could tell who was a good player and who wasn't. I certainly wasn't one of the ones that was a good player. Mum and I thought I was bloody great, to tell the truth. But
God bless your mum.
Yeah, no one else did. But then, as I got into my 20s. I'd served my apprenticeship on my auto electrician by trade.
Yes.
And I knew not being able to work and walk around properly on Monday, a lot of Mondays wasn't doing my work any good.
Yeah.
And so I decided to leave, and then I started my own business. Graham Lowe Car Electrical was called out in South Auckland. And
you did okay too, didn't you?
Yeah, we did well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just closing the workshop doors one night, and and Glenn McManus pulled up. And I knew Glenn because I lived in Panama Road there in Otahu. And that's where we
How
built
many
it.
legends have come out of Panama Road?
Oh, yeah.
There's a few.
Yeah.
There's a few. The row parties.
Yeah, well, they were just down. We were 392. They were just that they were about 340 or something like that, just down the road.
Yeah.
But so Glenn said he was going on Glenn was an electrician, and he was going on a working holiday. They call them OEs now, but
yeah.
he was going on a working holiday and wanted to know if he could get some, would I be interested in coaching? Because he'd been coaching this team and he couldn't get anyone to take it over. And so I said, well, can I just think about it overnight? And next day I rang him up, said, yep, I'll have a go. And
I'm in.
And who's in the team, Graham, just for the listeners? Who's in the team?
The very first team, what actually happened was the club said to me, they trained on Tuesday and Thursday at Murphy Park in Otahu.
Yep.
So I got myself a blue tracksuit. I didn't have an Otahu one, but I bought a new blue tracksuit, a clipboard, and a few bits and pieces that I thought coaches had. And I went down and I got to Murphy Park about 20 past 5 or something like that, and waited around, and no kids turned up. There was no one there.
Right, yeah.
So eighth grade, the youngest was about 14, the oldest was just turned 16. It was that sort of age group.
Yep.
But there was no one there, and I thought, geez, I'll muck this up right from the word go. And it got to 6 o'clock, and there was no one there at all. So I waited till about 20 past. There was just nobody there. But I'd seen this old car parked on the side of the road there at Murphy Park, next to where the toilet block is, where we used to call them our changing rooms. And this car it was there when I got there. So I thought, I wonder, I knew some people were in it. So I went down there and I tapped on the window, and it was full of smoke. And one of the kids, there was these 5 young fellas in there, one of them wound the window down, and I said, boys, could you tell me where Otahu 8th grade train? And one of them said, we train here. And I said, do you know where the team is? And one of them said, we're the team, but we don't normally train on Tuesday. All this big talk.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'll tell you what, boys, you need to get 20-odd players down here on Thursday, or I'm going to tell the club there's no team.
Right.
And one of them said, what do you need 20 for? I said, because you 5 are out. And then I just walked away. And as I walked away, I had them effing and blinding me.
Yeah. Do you know who the 5 were that were in the car?
Yeah. Well,
name and shame.
Name
no, they've been named and shamed plenty of times, like Owen Wright, for example.
Sticks.
So Owen becomes an international.
Yep.
Grant Martin was in there. There's a few names in there. But they all went on to be, and not only good players, but to this day, great friends of mine.
Yeah, true.
That was in 1973.
1973.
Yeah, so I started with them, and that was the difference. But so I had my I didn't have a career playing, but I'd played.
Yeah.
And then what happened that year with those boys did something to my brain.
Yeah.
And just I knew that's what I was. I knew that's what I wanted to do. And just the little things like everybody trained Tuesday and Thursday, so we'd played a few games and I thought we were going to go pretty good.
Yeah.
But I said to the boys, I got them all together one day and I said, would you mind, because I think I've got a bit of an idea how we can go better. Why don't we train 3 times a week? And I convinced them all we trained 3 times a week.
Oh.
I was never heard of.
Yeah.
What days were those? What day did you train?
Well, we varied the third one, but we varied the third one, but because we played Saturdays, but we just trained more.
And
trained harder.
What impact did that have on your performances on the weekend?
Well, we won everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So as it turned out, the funny thing that happened, it's just come to my mind talking to you guys now. We got to the end of the season, we're in the football. We'd won the semi-finals, and we had to play the final. And there was bad weather, and everything got cancelled, so the game got delayed a week.
Right.
And the boys had never been on a football trip, and I'd said to them, I want to take you on a football trip. So
here we go.
My wife at the time, she helped me, and they sold raffles and did all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And we'd organised a trip to go away, and the trip was the week after the game. But when it got cancelled, it mucked all that up. So I said, we've got to make a choice. We either play in the final or go on a footy trip. And I said, I think we should go on a footy trip personally, because I think you'll win the final. You win the final, but
incredible.
But you've never been on a footy trip, and that's what we should do, and that's what we did.
Wow.
So we defaulted the final,
the grand final.
Yeah.
Okay, who was the team? Who was the team you defaulted to? Can you remember?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, that's okay. Well, that's give me one for them.
Okay, okay. You know, and I know we haven't got much time here, Sir Graham, but you go from there, very successful at Otahu. You take the top. Certain gentleman by the name of Mark Graham comes in under your wing, and he goes on to be one of the greatest, New Zealand Rugby League's player of the century. Any other standouts for you that you've brought along?
With Otahu, it was unbelievable. Like a player that does never get the recognition that he deserves is Owen Wright.
Owen, okay.
So Owen Wright. Owen was a very, very talented player, and he was a
crafty too. He had skill,
great player for the Kiwis.
Yeah,
and I remember when I was coaching the Kiwis, and I think it was '85, and I put him up against Blocker. You know, Steve Roach.
Yep.
And Blocker was an experienced international front rower and front rower for Balmain at the time. And Sticks or Owen mainly played second row, or sometimes he played in the centres. But I put him up against Blocker, and I could see Blocker licking his lips.
Yeah.
And but I've spoken a lot with Stephen since that time, and Blocker's got absolute total respect for the performance that Owen put in against him. Like Owen instantly became an international front rower.
Yeah,
he
grew into the role.
He grew into the role, and not only that, he probably outplayed Blocker in that particular game.
He was silky smooth. I mean, he had skill where great hands. He'd come to the line and he'd just drift back a little bit, create that gap, offload, run it through, and magic.
You know, Silky's the way to describe him. He had great hands, really good. He wasn't like the game has changed a lot, and whether it's changed for the better or the worse, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But now there's a lot of power. You know, there's a lot of
true.
Owen wasn't a power type player, but he could draw. I'd say an average offload or average pass that Owen made, there'd be at least 4 players around him.
Yeah.
He just had that ability to just draw. And I used to hammer into the guys all the time. They will tell you now if you talk to them. But to me, all I wanted them to do is get the defensive line, just getting as many of the defensive line as possible, taking one step towards them.
Yeah.
Just a step. Because the moment they'd committed to that step, you had them.
Yeah.
You just had them.
And he was magic at that. Yeah,
and,
for sure.
So, you know, I sometimes I go through a little bit of a spell and I think about those times and talk about them a lot, but they were special. And they were special.
But you were, I know we don't have enough time. I got to talk to Graham all day long,
We'll get him back on.
83, 85, the impact of you, the team, on my life. Nick Wright, selected for fullback at the 83 Lang Park.
Yeah. Nick the Greek.
Yeah.
The third test comeback in 85 at Carlaw Park after the devastating Test 2.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm taking over here. But those were
great times.
Yeah.
What memories were made of.
Yeah.
And that moment from the very first time we spoke 14 years ago now, Graham, is what started the Carlaw Park thing.
Yeah.
Seared into our chest plate. Those were your words.
Yeah.
Yeah, well Carlaw Park, you know, Carlaw Park was that's 2 words that you know, the dictionary could never do them justice to what Carlaw Park means. Carlaw Park is something really special, and it's hard. You can't really talk to younger people about it today because you've got to respect them, and they don't know what it is, and they just, you know, and I understand and fully respect, but for those who had the privilege and were blessed to be able to be there or experience it one way or another, it was a magic. Yeah. I sensed the similar magic at different grounds I went to at various times in the UK. Some of those older British grounds.
Yeah, true.
It reminded me a little bit of them. But
close to the action.
To the action, you know, pretty run-down facilities. But it was special. It was really, really special. And it certainly made me who I am today. Yeah. Those 2 words, Carlaw Park.
Can I mention then, so you talk about special times and memories. You go from being Otahu, you're coaching Kiwis, and you become the first New Zealander or non-Australian to coach a state of origin team. That is pretty special.
Yeah, that
Very, very special.
It was good. It was, it's an honour and a thrill that I can't do justice to how it is. And I go over every year, for the origin, for the games. And last year I went to the Sydney one as well. But
and a winning origin coach too, by the way.
Yeah. But it's, I'm so proud of my involvement with the Kiwis, but the involvement that I have with Queensland was very similar in some ways. In some ways, I don't put it on a higher run or don't rate it. But it was, when you consider, like you say, I'm a Kiwi and pretty hard-nosed and set in their ways group of players.
And it's never been done before, has it?
No.
It's never been done since.
No.
And I don't think we'll see it. I don't think we'll see it again.
Yeah.
It's never been done.
Yeah.
No.
But the funny thing is, the relationship that I have with that group of players that I was involved with there in Queensland is exactly the same as the relationship I have with these blokes here. It's exactly no different. One of my greatest friends in life is Wally Lewis.
Oh, we'd love to get him on here and talk about Carlaw Park.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you could tee that one up, Louie. Yeah.
But, I think Carlaw Park, those two words, the dictionary, as I said, I don't think could ever do them justice because it means so many different things as well. So many different things to a lot of people. And if you really let your imagination drift away, you can just about feel or smell the presence of the fume, of the fumes out behind the concrete stand where the men couldn't get. There was not enough room in the toilet. So
yeah.
I'm talking about real old-fashioned sort of stuff. But I remember being out there with my dad out the back and holding his hand. When we were having a
lucky it was bloody hand there.
But it's that's what Carlaw Park was. It was really special. And
So one other thing, but
mate,
if I may, one other thing. We got beaten at by Australia at Carlaw Park. John Rebo scores in the corner, and the following week we come back and we win 18-0. And a lot of that was credited to you, but the simple fact of taking that team and walking up Queen Street in Auckland. Where on earth did that come from when you decided, I know what I'll do, I'll take the team up Queen Street?
It came to me probably about an hour or so before we did it.
Wow.
We were training at Fowles Park.
Yes.
And I knew everything was perfect. Everything was perfect, but it was mechanical.
Yeah.
We were just going through, because I wouldn't let them drop the ball, because to me, it was the same as dropping it. If you drop it at practice, you'll drop it in the game.
Yeah.
And so no one was dropping the ball. Everything was going right, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
I knew the chemistry wasn't there, and I just had a feeling it wasn't there. So I just left them to it. I said, listen, I think I said to Tom, I'm just going to duck up. I just need to do something. Need to ring back to the hotel.
Tommy
McEwen.
Yeah.
And
rest in peace.
Yeah. Or it might have been Jim Campbell. Might be Jim Campbell, but Jim Campbell it was. Yeah. So anyhow, I wandered up to the bar area in the Mount Albert Club. They let me in there and to use the phone, and I rang 1ZB, and I said, it's Graham Lowe. I said, I just wondered if you could help me. I'm going to bring the Kiwi team down, and we're going to be at the bottom of because I timed it so it was lunchtime.
Yeah, perfect.
And I said, I'm going to bring the Kiwi team down, and they're feeling that they've let everyone down.
Yeah, well,
I just want to show them that
there's love there.
Everyone's still right behind them.
Yeah.
And so they said, we'll put it out on the radio waves now.
Yeah.
And then I rang another couple of the radio stations that I had good relationships with them all. And then so the players had no idea. It was, so we finished practice. I said, look, on the way back, I growled. I growled. I said, I can't tell you the words I used, but I said,
can.
I'm actually getting a bit. I've had enough of you walking around with your heads down.
Yes.
Woe is me and all that sort of crap. And I said, you don't understand. I've been trying to tell you ever since I met you. I love you. I love you as a player, like your mum and dad did.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I have towards you. And I think you'll find there's thousands of Kiwis think the same as I do.
And we did love them.
And I just want to show you, we're gonna stop by we'll stop at the bottom of by the ferry buildings.
Yes.
Get out and walk up. We'll walk up to the Civic. And if you can't, I guarantee we'll get heaps of people around. And if we don't see any people around, you know, or what I'll do whatever. But I promise you, this is what'll happen.
Yeah.
Well, the vans pulled up, and we got out of the vans, and they were just mobbed straight away.
Wow.
And by the time we got to the Pacific, by the time we got to Customs Street, I knew that no one would beat us. We'd only gone 200 metres.
Yeah.
Magical.
Yeah.
Hence the 18-0 scoreline.
Yeah.
So no, that was a
fantastic memories. Fantastic.
Look, we could go on for hours and hours.
We can. We need to do this. We need to book them in.
We'd love to get you back, Lowe, if we can, just to do an hour of this. But thank you so much for taking the time. I know you want to get back and have a chat to the other legends in the room. So on behalf of Carlaw Park Diehards and Troy and myself, thank you so much for everything you've done for the game and continue to do for the game. You are a legend and you fully deserve to be a knight of the round. So thank you, Lowe.
Thanks, Gordy, and thanks, Troy.
Well, we're back too, and the legends just keep on coming. 32 tests in the black and white of the New Zealand Kiwis. Also, an absolute legend in the eastern suburbs, the Roosters, and
went there with Dean Bell in the first year.
Correct. When it was proper footy back in those days too. By the way,
2 reserves, no 12 in the change.
My absolute pleasure to a good friend of mine to welcome Hugh McGahan. At Kiwis Reunion 2025. How's your day been so far?
It's been great. It's been fun. Reminiscing is fun.
Well, I was just listening to a couple of words you were saying before, mate. You got quite emotional there talking about people that have been involved with your past.
Yes. It was a surprise to be thrown the microphone and then to comment on something. But when you start chatting away, sometimes you just can't stop. And there was a little bit of emotion. But you can say the older we get and the more we come to these, the more you start to value it.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Because some of us don't have that much longer here.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Well, I said some of us older ones. You're okay, Gordy. But when you think about what you help create as part of the Kiwi team and part of the Kiwi whānau, we're just one chapter in the history of the game.
Yes.
And one that we enjoyed. We still enjoy. We relive them every time we come here.
Yeah. We
laugh louder.
Yeah.
And like everyone else, our tries were more spectacular.
Well, speaking of tries, 6 against Papua New Guinea.
New Guinea.
World record?
World record. Is it still a world record?
It nearly got beat. It was equal by the Australian winger.
Oh, no one cares, Huey. No one cares.
You've still got the record.
Valentine Holmes. Sorry,
Valentine Holmes. Yes, correct.
And I was watching that game that night, and I was hoping it didn't get beat, but thankfully, I'm still world record holder.
Can I ask you, because Carlaw Park Diehards podcast, we're all about Carlaw Park. Your memories of the great park down in Parnell.
It's hard to describe Carlaw Park. It's funny. A few days ago, it was only last week. I was just talking to some of the academy boys that I work with at Westlake Boys High School, and one of them had heard about the rugby league diehards, and they started talking about Carlaw Park, and they says, "Where's Carlaw Park?" So I went through this whole thing of talking about Carlaw Park, and they had no idea what the hell I was talking about.
Gosh.
And I said to them, "Well, do you know Wembley?" And they said, "Oh yeah, we know Wembley." And I said, "That's rugby league's stadium here in Auckland." Where? And I said, "Unfortunately, they took it away from us."
Yeah.
But that's the equivalent to rugby league people, the die-hard people of rugby league. Carlaw Park was our Wembley, and then I said, "Oh, okay, oh," and then we got talking onto something else. But so in saying that, it was very hard to describe to them what Carlaw Park was. Yes. But at the same time, it's hard to describe. Because the only way you can describe it is you have to have been there. You have had to have experienced Carlaw Park.
We were saying that
actually
before.
knows what Carlaw Park is.
And look, we're fortunate, and sometimes, players at the statue like yourself, the rest of the 83, the 85 Kiwis, which is where I landed, where all my love is, right? You guys have played in stadiums all over the world. What made Carlaw Park different was there was a number 1 and a number 2 field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
And 6 tribes came to war on a Saturday and Sunday. This shit's seared into their hearts, right? And it was tribal. And every warrior needs a coliseum, and that's what Carlaw Park was.
Yeah.
And on a Saturday, Sunday night, then, oh my God, they introduced night football.
Yeah.
Blow my mind.
The rooster.
The
Rooster on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. So when we talk about, I suppose, the 60s, the 70s, and especially coming into the 80s, and you're part of the team that made me start to believe that we could beat Australia.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the 85 test tonight, and I know it's where I land, and I keep coming back to it all the time. What? They're actually going to beat these guys? Because our boys, up until a few of you who actually started playing professional football, worked from Monday to Friday, smashed the shit out of each other on a Saturday or Sunday, and Sunday was main game, and then you had to go to work on Monday.
Yep. And I was part of that crew.
Yeah.
Because up until the time I retired from playing, I was still working full time. The full professional era didn't come through till 95 when Super League thing
and Warriors kicked in. Yeah.
But there were a number of clubs, the Broncos, Raiders, I think Penrith had also gone full time with their players. But the majority of us were still work day, just did your job, and then you go to training on a Tuesday, Thursday. You had to do your extras, gym work, extras prior. And then on Sunday, you had to go do your rehab and whatever. And Monday, you're back at work again. It's not foreign to me.
I don't know. It just happens. I'm looking at you, okay, because there's that little twinkle in your eye, right? So people are on tour. They all do crazy stuff. They all do good stuff, right? We can either cut this out later, Huey, or what after you. The Spider-Man incident. I'm told you dropped a level. Yes, no, because that would have been a coach's nightmare if you hadn't hit the second story down.
Yes.
Troy's had 4 beers.
Okay. Who brought Spider-Man one up? Dano.
No. It just popped in my head. I think I saw it in a Rugby League Newsweek. It was a Rugby League Newsweek back, I'm going to go mid-80s, late 80s?
Mid to late 80s.
Yeah. And there was an article, there was a story about that. But it was done in more boys being boys on tour, and I get it,
Troy, you're talking more than you is.
No, sorry.
Okay.
Well, what I remember of the Spider-Man incident, if we can put it that way, was I had a reputation of going around and just looking in the windows of the boys, just checking on that everyone was in bed doing
safety
whatever.
Check.
But because at the old Mondesir, before it was called the old Mondesir, they had everything backed onto a centerpiece where the swimming pool was.
Okay.
And all the rooms fronted onto that. And so on there were just wooden ledges for the handrail. I used to stand on the handrail, look in the window, everyone's okay.
Because you're tall enough to do it.
And I was fit enough back then where I could just jump up one jump and then jump back down on the ground again. And I was checking. And so I got the Spider-Man. I think it was Kurt Sorensen who gave me
the old Kurtie. There's another one you're in trouble for, Sorensen.
Any chance we can talk some footy?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Jesus, Troy, you need to control yourself. No more beers for you.
Okay.
I need to ask you, Huey. I mean, I just mentioned before about the 6 tries against Papua New Guinea, but you've had so many wonderful memories wearing the black and white jersey. Tell me what stands out for you.
Like everything, the 85 series is always a standout. More so because the games that were played and the closest of the fixtures, both the Australian series and then when we toured the UK. But it was the time realisation that rugby league could be something in this country.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I say, Lowe started doing all these promotional things from the time he came in from 83, 84, but 85, it made a significant impact.
Came to fruition,
here in New Zealand. And I was here in 84. I was still playing. Then I moved to Sydney in '85 with Dean. And just on the Dean thing, I was the bag carrier for Dean. Dean was the big name that they wanted to sign.
Yes.
I was an afterthought.
Really?
They just said, "Oh, there's this other boy here who might be able to be interested." So
Yeah,
I got a third of his contract price wise.
And you became a great.
Just on that though, there would have been an Aussie boy that you popped out of his position inside that team. Kiwis weren't loved back then in regards to taking position people in.
Well, do you know who it was?
No.
Yeah, who I replaced?
No.
Kurt Sorensen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went for 1 year in '84.
Yeah,
and then he moved back to Cronulla.
Okay. Zero sum.
So Kurt does not like you at all. He's 69 today too, by the way.
Is he?
Is he
Oh,
really?
happy birthday,
Is
Kurt.
he really?
Well done,
Yeah.
mate.
69.
Yeah.
He doesn't look it. He still looks fit.
Oh, man, he's...
I saw him last year.
Yep.
For something with Dane. And
it would have been Auckland Rugby League Hall of Fame. Yeah,
That's it. And he looked good.
No, mate.
He looked great. But the '85 series was a realisation that rugby league could really become something here in New Zealand. And again, we go back to Lowe. Lowe tried to bring a lot of that together because in that early '85 series against Australia, we were at the Mondesir and the Rugby Union and Rugby League. Lowe tried to get the two teams together to do a training.
I remember that. There was a photo or something.
There was a photo of him
the two,
and
Lahore.
Lahore.
I remember that. Yeah.
And but apparently, and I say apparently, the Rugby Union wouldn't allow it to go.
Yeah.
And but we tried to get on. So the closest they got was those two were in a photo.
Yeah.
But I know some of the All Blacks of that time, and they wanted to do some trainings with us as well. More, I think they wanted to try and match themselves up against us. But that was the start of rugby league starting to gain some ground on rugby.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure.
And players you played with. I mean, let's start with the coaches though, because you've had some. You've already mentioned Lowe, but who are the other coaches?
Seth Mountford was the first coach. I came in '82.
What about Otahu though?
I hit. Ernie Wiggs was when I first made the
he was a
Premier
rangy
team.
second row, wasn't he?
Prop.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going rangy second row.
Goal kicking.
Yeah.
Prop.
Yeah.
Ernie was the first coach, and then it went to Gordon, not Bruce Gordon, because Bruce Gordon was my under 15, 16, 17, 18, 19s coach.
Right.
The older brother, Ian Gordon.
Okay.
Ian Gordon was
I remember him.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
He took over in 83, 84.
Okay.
And then I left at the start of 85. So I just had the two coaches, but I loved Ernie. Ernie was also my under 19 coach, I think.
So you had a bit of time with him.
And he was terrific. Old school.
Yeah.
If we go back to old school, when I first made, can I go back? When I first made the Otahu Premier team, I walked into Grays Ave,
right,
in Mangere, and that was our training field. I walked in and I looked at everyone. They were everyone just sitting around talking.
Who are you looking at, Huey? Who are you looking at? Who do you see?
Owen Wright, good friend
Sticks,
of mine, Owen. But the one who frightened the crap out of me, I walked on in and I just put my head down. And I put my head down, put my bag down, sat down, and it was Terry Whittle.
Okay.
Terry Whittle, the big prop.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to a couple of guys. He picks my bag up because he's just walked in. He's picked my bag up, gone to the door, threw it out the door, and he said, "That's my spot.
No.
You find your place. You find your own place.
You find your place.
You find your own place." So, yes, Terry. Yes, just go pick up my bag, and I just stand there and wait till training starts, and wherever there's a spare spot, I put my bag. Frighten the living crap out of me.
Some marvelous club games at Carlaw Park.
Yes,
some absolutely marvelous games at Carlaw Park. A few finals for you.
Yes, we were lucky enough, but we were at a time when Mount Albert were really just came back into the
Battle of the Cats,
and they were. We had our own superiority for probably 2 years.
Yes,
it was us, Monaco, and Mount Albert.
Yeah,
Mount Albert just used to pummel the crap out of everyone, and playing against guys who I played with in junior for the Acklands. especially Jeff Ackland.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was frightening. For someone so small, he was just an absolute monster on the field.
Yeah. Now he's surfing in Bali.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Go.
I've seen him a few times down at Whangamata.
Yeah.
Just in his van, just parked up the beach.
Yeah.
And has he got it right?
I'd say he probably has.
Has he got it?
Yeah, he probably has. But they were great times, great battles. We won a couple of foxes and
Who's in your team with you, Huey, at this time?
You say Terry Whittle was up front, so was Owen Wright, the Vusaga boys. Frank Tinatila was in there for a couple of seasons.
Scored the best try at Carlaw Park.
Carlaw Park,
Yeah.
And Daryl Morrison was
The Morrison, brothers.
Yes.
Yeah. Any of the row parties slipping in at this point?
There was few. Peter was also in the second row.
Yeah.
Joseph came in a little bit later. John was playing fullback there at one stage. We had Willie Tongatama. We had, and I'm going across a couple of years here.
Yeah.
Roger Rhoda. Oh my God, he was a god. The game revolved around him.
Yeah.
Just
So much
silky,
time on the ball,
silky skills. And you wonder, how did he never really make it?
Yeah, because he never did. He never actually made it.
Did he ever go to trials?
I can't remember.
I'd say anybody who's listening, comment in the section down below. I don't know if he did.
No, I actually don't think it, because he never played overseas either.
No, I don't think he did. But man, someone with that silky,
and his wonderful daughter Crystal, who became a Kiwi
first.
True.
Exactly right. I can't remember her playing too much, or I do remember when she was on the scene.
Yeah, no, I saw her a wee bit with Auckland Rugby League. Yeah,
is she same position?
Legend. No,
she a forward?
No. Okay, now you're putting me on.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Moving on.
Sorry, Crystal.
So Huey, standout memories for you. If I said to you, give me 3 of your biggest moments in rugby league, and I mean rugby league has been absolutely good for you, but you have been good for rugby league. Give me 3 of your best moments.
I scored the first try against Australia in the '85 series at Lang Park.
Boom! You know what? I remember that.
I went up for a bomb. I caught a bomb. Ollie put the bomb up. I went up and Lang Park. I scored Lang Park.
Massive.
That was a big year. There was another close game. If I could say 1987 in Sydney, the Roosters, we had a magnificent season.
Yes.
A massive season. I scored in a semi-final against Canberra. All my students at Westlake Boys, they showed me this.
Pull that up.
This is you. And I said, I scored another try in that game, which it's not highlighted. But I went over the top of Gary Belcher to score again off a bomb. And if the only other real memory I have is sitting in the bench with Olsen Filipina.
Right.
Third test, Allen Road, 1985.
Yeah.
It ended up being the draw, I think it was 6-all.
Yeah. And that's through the test, didn't it?
Yeah, when the fight started.
Yes.
Yeah. There was Olsen and I, the police were running onto the field.
Wow.
The Sorensen boys, Kevin Tamati. And I think Howie was trying to get out of the fight, but he got held in.
Good old Howie.
Yeah. And the brawl that going on, and just sitting there and just watching it going.
Oh my God.
And Lowe and the Great Britain coach was his name escapes me at the moment, but they were just mouthing at each other, just having a real crack at each other. And Olsen and I were just looking at each other, just with a big smile on our faces. This is going on in front of us. They nearly brought the horse, the police with the horse onto the field to stop one of the fights. The game kept on, but the fights were down the other end, which the television cameras didn't pick up too much of that. And then they kicked the penalty at the end to draw the game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think a few people continue to blame Gary Prone for the penalty,
right?
Which really wasn't a penalty, but the referee gave it for whatever reason. And Lee Crooks kicked the goal from the sideline, 22 from the sideline to make it 6-all. But that always stands out in my memory.
Wow.
Allen Road. because I'm an old Leeds football supporter from
right.
many
Right,
years ago.
right, right.
So it was Ellen Road. I wish I could have played. I end up getting on for about 10 minutes near the end of the game, but Ellen Road for me was just
Match
an
ball.
icon of a place to go to, and then seeing it.
You touched on Gary Prom. Was Gary Prom in the side when you came through to seniors, or had he already gone to Mount Albert?
No, he moved. He was at Hull KR.
Okay.
He came back, but he went to
the Lions.
To the
then.
Lions, yes.
Okay.
But I knew him before. Our families knew each other.
Yeah.
So I knew him prior to that, but didn't play alongside him in Otago Colours.
Okay.
Lovely man. Good bloke.
Sorry, gentlemen. I have to do this. I have to do this because they're closing the bar.
Yeah. No, yes. They can all stay till the sun goes down.
Hugh McGahan, on behalf of all of us, as rugby league people, thank you so much for everything you've done for the game. You're an absolute legend, and thank you for being our friend, Troy Hardy and myself's friend, and thank you for coming on Carlaw Park Diehards. All the very best, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Gordy. Thank you, Troy.
No, love you, good.
Gentlemen.
Love you,
Brilliant.
Huey. Sweet as.
You're doing a great job.
Carlaw Park, the spiritual home, where Kiwi League hearts found their throne. Legends were born, warriors made, on hallowed ground where history played.